Hey, what's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Zen, and we are back at it again, man. And Capcom is treating us so well. They dropped the benchmark tool for us, man. So I'm so excited that we can use this for the Monster Hunter Wild game. If you don't know what a benchmark tool is, it's basically a stress test demo, if you will, that kind of gives you an overview of what of whether or not your computer is going to need new specs or not, you know what I mean, or a new GPU or whatever. So it's a really good tool, kind of lets you know what to expect right before you go into a game. So I'm going to show you guys how it works, how you can get it started, and you can tell whether or not if your computer needs to be upgraded. Little TLDR though. At the end of the video, I will have a little tip for those that are struggling in the FPS area of what you can do to kind of beef that up a little bit if you're looking for just some smoother FPS, man. So don't worry, your boy got you. But anyway, if you guys like this content, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to your boy. I also stream on Twitch, so subscribe to me there as well, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. As always, stay Zen. All right, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and just get started. What you're gonna do is go to Monster Hunter Wilds in your store. Once you go to your store, you scroll down right below it. It'll literally say right next to like the pre-orders, download Monster Hunter Benchmark. Download it. Once you download it, you're gonna go ahead and kickstart it. And once you do that, it's gonna boot up. Okay, cool. Once it boots up, it'll prompt you to choose your language, and then it'll give you to this screen here. You click on it, it's just the benchmarks, don't get excited. So what I would do is I would come here. A few things I would turn off, just off the grip. You would go over here to your display. Usually all this is fine, but for low latency, I would go ahead and put frame generation on. Some people would, some people wouldn't. I mean, it's really up to you, but I would put it on if you're struggling like me, or not struggling. Maybe if you got a basic one, yeah, put it on. I got 3060, I put mine on. Put it here, put everything on medium. That's what I did. So if you got like a basic GPU, just put everything on medium. I feel like that makes it kind of just give you a set baseline of what everything is. If you want it to be turned high, ultra, obviously, you know what I mean? Once you do all that, a few things I would kind of tweak a little bit is for me, because I had 3060 to get 50 frames at least, I had to turn off like all of this grass sway, the wind simulation, surface, like all this little quality of life stuff, quality of visual life, if you will. Turned all that off. You know what I'm saying? Turn this off, lowest. I turn this to the lowest. I turn all these really to the lowest. Anything that had to do with the environment, I just turn it to the low. You know what I mean? Grass sway, stuff that I know it'd be nice to see, but if it's not really messing with my gameplay, overall, if it's little small details in the background, yeah, we ain't tripping. So yeah, but this is all dependent on you. You know what I'm saying? You can choose how you want to. Those are things I turned off, and then especially the motion blur, you turn that off. That's for sure. No matter what you got, what we motion blur for? It's no point. Do that. You go here, and then you'll click benchmark. Benchmark will start. It'll boot up. Boom, it'll boot up like this. You know what I mean? And then from here, what will happen is it's calculating all your FPS per scene, per video, per whatever, and it'll just keep going. For me, I got mine up to like at least like 56, 57, around that range. It wasn't too bad. It was like 55 to 56, something like that. But you just have to play with it, kind of tinker it, see where your setting's gonna be at, see if you need to buff it somewhere, you know what I mean? And this will just tell you where your computer's gonna be at, you know what I mean? What you're gonna be sitting at. So we're gonna let this cook for a little bit. We'll come back and we'll talk about it.
There's so many.
All right, guys. So it ends up ending on here. I kind of messed up at the beginning because I was like, bro, why was my thing dipping so hard? So I had to redo it. So what I ended up doing, just a full transparency, was I took off like all the pointless stuff, like some shadows, grass sway, like some environmental stuff I never cared about, like the sky, you know what I mean? You know, dumb stuff like that. So I just turned those on low and everything else was fine. But for me with a 3060, I'm hitting like 54 frames. That's cool. It's okay. For people who are competing, it's a little tough. So eventually I'm gonna have to upgrade. But I know I have like an average PC for most people. So I figured you guys would like to see that. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's how I use the benchmark tool. Hopefully that's helpful. If you guys stayed all the way to the end, let me show you what I would suggest using if your frames like this one isn't all the way up to that 60 crisp like you wanted to. You know what I mean? Here we go. So what I would suggest for those that, so if you made it to this point, you're here for, you know, just a little boost in your FPS. This is something I'm gonna tell you straight off the grip. I'm no tech guy. I don't know no specs, what to do, all of it, none of that. If it works, it works. That's all I know. So that's what I'm gonna talk about. Okay. So if you want to go to the specs of it, you know, the super intricacies, or you just that nerdy guy that wants to tell people about how this isn't, how this is, whatever, do you know what I mean? But this worked for me during the actual beta. So I'm giving it to you guys. Anyway, we're gonna go back to the Steam store. You're gonna type in lossless scale. Yes, lossless scaling. That's what it's called. I'm sorry. It's gonna be this little ugly little duck like pixelated thing. Click on that. Now it is about what, $7-8. You know what I mean? Look, if we're gonna play WoWs for 1,000 hours, it's worth it. Okay. Click on this. This basically is the best way I could describe it. And I may be butchering it, you know, whatever. But for the common folk that ain't tech savvy, this is basically does what a 5090 does. You know what I mean? It gives you fake frames or gives you like what's it called? AI generated frames to help buff up that those frames that are missing in your game. So I love it. I don't have to buy a 5090 in order for it to make it work. It kept my FPS at 60 when I was just playing the straight beta. It's an awesome tool for you guys to use. If you haven't used it, look it up, bro. There's some videos on it. Literally, you click on it, you click scale, which would be like right here. And then you click on the game that you're actually playing and put it on full screen. And boom, it'll like put like this overlay on it. And there you go. Your game should be running smooth. You know what I mean? And for me, I got like nice returns. Like my game was running smooth. Most of my clips and stuff that I did it with this. So it works well, man. If it's something that you feel like you wanted to do, or just kind of give a little buff and you ain't got the money for like, you know what I'm saying? You know, $1,000 another GPU. This is a good bet. There's people that's gotten up to 300 like FPS, like with this thing. You know what I mean? Now, granted, these are all frame generated, like they generated. You know what I mean? They AI generated, so it ain't gonna look just like what it looked like if it was like straight native. You know what I mean? So don't come at me with all the tech stuff because I don't know. You know what I mean? What I do know is it worked. It was smooth. I got 60 frames. Hey, and it's good. You know what I mean? Be careful about this if you're speed running. We're still kind of in the works trying to figure it out whether or not if it's going to be like considered legal. But nonetheless, this is a good option, especially if you're just trying to play the game, bro. And like, especially for casuals and you're just trying to play the game. This is a good bet, bro. I don't foresee it being an issue for speedrunning. It's literally doing the same option that 5090 does. It's just regenerate frames, same way. You know what I mean? And we're not like doing anything extra. We're literally just playing the game at a decent FPS. So, you know, woo. But anyway, yeah, but just be aware of that. This is something that would be really good for you guys to use. Lossless scaling is dope. It's been smooth on my end. If it's something that you guys think you want to use it. It's a good tool. It's an amazing tool. So anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one. As always, stay zen.